Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Click and Mortar Podcast. Mike and Dustin here again with you. And today we're really excited to have a new friend of ours on the podcast, Michael Noel. Thank you for joining us. Michael has a varied background in history and marketing and advertising. We were just talking about Gary Vee and many other things. So, Michael, welcome to the show. And
Thank you, thank
great
you,
to
thank
have you
you.
here.
It's great to be here. You know, I, I it's epic. I really, I think you guys are doing some great stuff here, and I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for providing the space.
You're welcome. So we'll start out with a controversial piece that we were just talking about. We were talking about Gary Vee. You were saying Gary Vee said it's over. It is over. So
It
what
is.
is it and what's over and where are we?
Can we just take it out of context? I mean, context without the pre is just pretext. I mean, we were talking about Gary Vee going back and being the OG marketer, and Gary's been right just about at every turn. And I asked you if there was a time that you can think of when Gary made a turn and he wasn't right. I can't think of one. Can you? I mean, he's competing with Pokemon with his
Not of
collectible.
late. Not
You know what I mean? This guy is epic. Now, he's been right all along, and if he's changed his complete tune lately, and he said, and it's not me that's saying it's over. I'm just I'm just this old crusty guy that just got back from a hike with his dog. Gary Vee is someone that you really need to listen to, and Gary Vee is saying it's over, then it's over, and the reasons he's saying it's over, and I'm watching it, is because AI is taking over search, and search is no longer search. I mean, it used to be, look, you have to do this content, you have to have this. I mean, I can remember when you could stuff keywords into an article and have it rank in Afghanistan or whatever. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff just sitting at your computer trying to test and see if that would work. Oh yeah, that worked. Yeah, that was pretty cool. You can't do that anymore. And search has changed completely, and content has changed completely, and truth has changed completely. It's really kind of a strange situation where all of a sudden it's the influencers that are really the key. And as Gary says, it's the B2B influencers that are going to rule. I think Gary Vee's right in that. It's that B2B influencer space that's really beginning to build and look very promising. So much that I came out of retirement. I mean, look, I'm 67 years old. I could be out, hiking right now, but no, I'm talking to you guys. And you asked me a question, why did I sign up for the podcast? The answer is to get me off my duff because I haven't been on camera in 4 years. This is like the first time I've been on camera in 4 years. Last time I was on camera was Kern River. So that's been a while.
well, welcome back to the fray.
And here's what Gary's saying.
Yeah.
AI is taking over search, and it is. And if you're not using AI, and if you're not using AI to research your content, and you're not using AI to create your content, and you're not telling AI to create your content in a specific mannerism, then you're missing out on all that's happening in AI and all the directions that are coming out of AI. And I tell you, you're talking to a guy who started with Tube Blaster before it was Tube Blaster Pro, and I don't know if you remember Tube Blaster and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I've done all those kinds of apps and that kind of stuff. And I gotten away from YouTube because LinkedIn is just so powerful in the blockchain space that I really didn't need anything else. I just used LinkedIn. But now that I'm starting to listen to Gary and he's telling me things are changing, and I'm using AI to create content. I'm using AI to create content for 5 websites. I use it to create the content. I use it to create the business plan and the projections for small businesses. I help small businesses create themselves in an AI environment. So I'm out there helping these people.
What are you advising that small businesses do? The other part that we were talking about before we jumped on the recording was rural America, small business, a lot of opportunity there. So, given the environment and as you interpret it, what are you advising people to do?
It, it's the biggest land rush. It's bigger than San Francisco in 49. Was it 49? Yeah, something like that. When the big gold rush was and everyone went to California, that
49ers.
was so many blah, blah, blah dollars and da, 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 and everyone headed over there because it was the biggest thing. What that pales in comparison when you look at at the value of trillions of dollars of unused rural infrastructure. The average small town in America has a population of between 750 and 1,500 people, and it used to have between 1,500 and 3,000 people. That means it's using approximately half of its infrastructure. It's using approximately half of what it has, and the infrastructure there is horrible. Now, if you take AI and overlay AI in a rural area and you connect that rural area to the internet in a way that is like nothing else, then everything becomes possible. Entrepreneurs that are looking for opportunity can come to rural America and use tools that they couldn't use anywhere else because it's that rural America becomes an AI cluster. It's inside of a cluster. That's where you want to be because of persistence and I mean, some of this stuff travels at like 10 terabits a second. If you're traveling at 10 terabits a second to a data center and back, I mean, it's going to take eons. I mean, seriously, inference is just really a bad thing. So
Yep.
now it's rural America is where the opportunity is, and we need entrepreneurs and we need marketers, right? I mean, it's a team thing in rural America. You have to have someone that's a local, you have to have a marketer, and then you have to have the doer. And if you got those three people, you can build a business in rural America. You can do it anywhere, and I've done it literally hundreds of times. I really have. I mean, that's that's kind of my claim to fame is I can if you give me those three things, I can put together a business that can survive in anywhere. And I use the same rules
It's
all
amazing.
along.
The love the rural America, love the content creation that you talked about with AI. I think the big controversy or what people debate is the authenticity now of the content that's being created. Is it genuine? And in my opinions, and I think it's all about how you instruct what's creating the content and how well you train or develop.
I I got a completely and totally different view on that than you do. I really do. Um, I've worked on teams my entire life. Worked on content teams where we've developed content teams, and there was someone that was, responsible for images. There was someone that was responsible for continuity between the different pages and the different slides and whatever it was. There's all this kind of stuff that goes into creating stuff. And if you think that you're a content creator and you do that in a silo, then no one knows you, period. You don't do that in a silo. And if you don't know that, then you're not doing the right things. You have to have a team. Um, I've always had a team. I had a girlfriend when I was going to law school. I mean, she was my team because I could do briefs and stuff, but man, she could type them up and make them look nice, and it really made what I am. I was going to pass that course right up until the time I pissed her off and she left, and I didn't pass. So, I mean, that was a problem for me. My point is, if you think you're creating content in a silo, and I don't know what other people do with AI. Here's what I do: is I have content. I have content that's in my mind. I've written a technical white paper, Carbon Consuming Circular Economies. I've written a book, Tokenomics is Not Economics. I've got all this stuff that I've written. And I have all these ideas about how now we take the digital from blockchain and move it into AI. I've got all this content. If I was to sit down and start writing this stuff out, over the last month, I might have been able to create 15 pages and not the 300 that I did, 10 a day, 10 a day
Mhm.
between 5 sites. It's all content. And my engagement rates, I have agra.energy. That's the website, agra.ene energy, right? That one has a time on site of 4 minutes and 36 seconds, and I can show it to you in the WordPress dashboard. People are sitting there and consuming and reading it, and they are time on site. I've never had, I mean, I've had WordPress dashboards and I've seen, minutes and kinds of when you're doing good, when you have a minute time on site, when you got 200 visits a day and it's 36 seconds to 66 seconds time on site, you're going, hey, I'm doing something good. But when you open it up and it's 4 minutes and 36 seconds, then you know that there's people actually sitting there reading the stuff, studying the stuff, and they're consuming the stuff, and it's good shit. So in my realm of work, I use AI as my team, and it's no different. I haven't changed my workflow. That's how I've been able to be so prolific over the last 30 days. I mean, if you go to DeReticular.com, you go to BizBuilderMike.com, you go to Agri.energy, you go to Curb Cars, and you go to Dows R Us, and you look at those sites, it's all content on there that was created in AI Studio. The prompts that I do are search all these websites, do the research on my company, do the research on this, do the research on this, and do the research on this. Now create a report, and it will generate reports. It will generate a SWOT analysis. I used to pay $20,000, $30,000 and wait 3 weeks to get a SWOT and a gap analysis for a potential merger or an acquisition. I'm not joking. You know that as well as I do. I mean, shit. And I spent 30 years doing investment banking.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. It isn't just go create the report. You knew where to lead the AI. You knew how to feed it the AI. My question comes from, what about that business owner that hopped on ChatGPT and said, write me a blog about digital marketing, and it came back and it didn't sound like me.
If you're an experienced marketer, you would know that you've talked to people and you've told them what they need to do and what they should be doing, and about 90% of the time they tell you you're full of shit. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't keep him from pissing in it. You know what I mean? We could show them, we can tell them, we can say, look, this is the way you use AI. It's good, and this is the way you should use it. But is he going to do it? No, because he wants to do the shortcut, or he wants to do this, or or it didn't work fast enough for him. When we get down and we look at his company, we realize it's a manufacturing company. It wasn't that the AI didn't work for the guy; is that he was using a shish kebab machine to, flip hamburgers, and it wasn't working, and he got pissed off at the shish kebab machine. Okay, I see. Hey, look, here's a hamburger machine. So, you got to teach them. It's 90% of the people out there. They want you to make the internet do what they want it to do their way. Marketers, a marketer creed. Repeat after me.
I'm going to come back to the.
Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. You want to do the creed with me?
I wanted to come back to the. No, I wanted to come back to the consumer consumption of information piece and search being dead, quote unquote. I think that's a big topic for a lot of people right now. The idea of search being dead and AI taking over search and all of this.
Search has been dead for a while. Google's been crowding the top. Alphabet's been crowding the top for a while. You got results that are at the back. You really have to promote. It's all about social now. It's not about search. It used to be about search because you wanted, 10,000 hits. I used to say, I used to tell my clients, no, you don't want to do that. And then they would tell me they wanted to do that. So I would do exactly what they told me to do and send out those 3 million emails all at the same time when I told them not to, and crash their server, and then go, I told you not to do that. I know. I'm sorry. I sent them. You paid me. I mean, a lot of that happens. AI is different. You have to approach AI from a holistic approach. You can't just do, I'm going to make AI candies or, AI peppermints. You have to look at your organization and your structure and then look at what your digital flywheel is. Your digital flywheel is your fulfillment. And that's what you do. That's what you market. You don't know what to market until you've seen your digital flywheel. The digital flywheel is what you can reproduce and scale. If you're marketing something that you can't reproduce easily and scale,
I would agree on certain fronts. I think organic search and SEO is in big trouble.
The Walmart-OpenAI deal, allowing ads from Walmart in ChatGPT, that's going to open up the floodgates of allowing other platforms to start doing it. So search, as we know, is going to transition to just what are the sponsored results going to look like in the AI responses, basically, and make it more of an experiential shopping experience
Exactly.
rather than you search for red shoes. Here's some red shoes. We know your history. We know more about you. We have more data. We can serve more relevant content.
Yeah. If someone goes for red shoes and it's a guy, and the AI shows him some red pumps and he buys them right away, then that was a great customer experience. If the AI shows him some red pumps and the guy goes, "Why are you showing me this?" It wasn't good customer experience. It has to be intuitive. You have to set things up right. You have to have the data flywheel in order to have the data in order to be able to translate that. And if you have that kind of data, you should have that person, you should be sending individual messages that wind up with what he watched last night on Netflix or something. Because you could do that. It's agentic, it's MCP nowadays. I mean, it's just like crazy. There's not a thing you can't do nowadays. And as a marketer, you should be finding someone,
Mhm.
that makes a product that can do fulfillment, and someone that knows a local market. That's what you should be doing. If you're not doing anything else, that's what you should be doing. That's what's going to scale. The centralized stuff
So
isn't
given
going to
given
scale.
that, what's next for you? What are you focusing on? I know you're getting back in the fray, and I know we talked about local rural businesses, and how can people find you and how can they engage with you as well?
I'm Biz Builder Mike, BizBuilderMike, and go to Google, and if it's AI, it'll tell you all about me. And don't believe half of what it says. I'm really a nice guy, but uh, there are links. It's BizBuilderMike.com. I have a company called DeReticular. DeReticular does AI infrastructure. We do the rural infrastructure operating system that gives rural places opportunity that they didn't have before. I'm a specialist in rural connectivity, and if you have a place that doesn't have internet connectivity and you want it there, give me a call because that's what I do.
Mm.
What's next for me is Uganda. I have a 7,000 acre campus in Uganda that we're building out. I'll be there in February. We have a sister campus in Quartzsite, so there's two campuses. There's sister campuses. We're doing small business innovation research grants for it, and our $30 million project in Uganda is giving the company in Arizona the technical commercial applications to qualify for SBIR grants. So that's what we're doing now, applying for grants and just doing a lot of research and a lot of stuff in AI. When we have these new areas, like in Uganda or like in Quartzsite, we need marketers. We need people to come to the rural area that are looking for new opportunity and want to start a new job, want to start a new business. I can give you 50 different places if you're a marketer. I mean, marketers are you guys can go in. That's what I started in marketing for because I wanted to be able to travel anywhere. It's great to be you guys. Great to be your age. Great. I wish I was young again. You know, I'm still in their swing. You guys are doing great stuff. This stuff that really resonates with people. It's real. You can't fake it, and it's the new B2B influencers. It's what it's going to be.
You know a lot about a last piece. We love to give some tips and tricks of the trade. So what are some of the best AI tools that you use for content creation and multiplying yourself and 100xing your productivity?
I think that as someone who works on Linux and was native Linux to begin with, and I've talked to people that are the only thing they do is Apple and OX, and when you talk to them, you find out that's where they started was in OX, and the really our preferences have more to do with where we first got our first impressions more than anything else. The tech is pretty much does the same thing. It's just our preferences have to do with where we first learned it. I think that if I was someone that was doing marketing right now, I would be going to the Gary V vault and be looking at the last 3 or 4 months worth of content and doing exactly what Gary V says. And that's all about creating content every single day, just like I did with Blockchain Weekly. Blockchain Weekly was something that I created content about Blockchain Weekly and the build up to it, content every single week, every single day. It's the same thing in today. Create content every single day. Marketers should be creating content about products and goods and services that they're familiar with, that they have a passion about, and that they're becoming influencers about.
That's one of our goals here with the EIC podcast and the Click and Mortar podcast is to do that, create content around stuff we love and talk to people that are into geeky stuff like B2B marketing. So Michael Noel, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And we'll put all your contact info in the show notes and where this information is being posted so people can get in touch with you. So thanks
That's
for
awesome. That's
being
awesome.
on the Click and Mortar podcast with us.
My email is mike@bizbuildermike.com. So mike@bizbuildermike.com. Thank you so much, guys. Keep it up, man. And if you want me back on, just have me on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to. Thanks for jumping on with us. We appreciate it.
We'll see you later, guys.